At quarterback, number 7, Bruce Mathison.
At Nebraska, he started only one game. As a Charger backup, he threw only 5 passes. Yet over the final 7 weeks of the season, Bruce Mathison confidently guided the Bills' offense. Mathison is learning the intricacies of reading NFL defenses. But quick feet and a powerful arm are assets not taught. He is already an accomplished ball handler, whether running the sprint-out draw to gutsy Joe Cribbs or handling the reverse pivot on an inside handoff to Booker Moore. But what makes Mathison special is his unpredictability. He proved a dangerous scrambler, finishing as the team's 3rd leading rusher in 1985. Against the Oilers in Week 10, Mathison took off for nearly 60 yards in a near-record rushing performance by a Buffalo quarterback. While Mathison's recklessness sparked the offense, the defense turned in what could be described as the perfect game. 3 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries later, the Bills celebrated a well-earned shutout and their 2nd win of the year, 20-0. In the season's 15th week, the Bills ambushed Pittsburgh in Three Rivers, exploding for 3 unanswered scores, opening up a 21-0 lead.
Blitzed by Miami, and here is Mathison looking, he lets it fly long, downfield for Butler, it is caught, and he is in for the touchdown! Jerry Butler! Mathison goes, the man is there, and it is touchdown! What a leaping grab by Andre Reed in the end zone!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, NFL quarterback, director of marketing, Bruce Mathison.
Three, 4 set. Fumble. Oh, I can hold it right there. Green 80! Green 80! Hut, hut, hut! Oh, that brings back such memories. It was like it was done yesterday, right? Am I going to have to hold this thing? Put it on my ear. You know, I get hit in the head so many times, I lose earpieces, mouthpieces, face guards. My ears are so tight, I can't get anything behind it. Hang on. I'm going to use the podium, although I can't stand still. I hate standing still. Oh, I have to not make an announcement. So from Canada, $1,000 credit winner, Kelly Brownlee. Give her a round of applause. You know, as you watch that video, and I listen to Dr. Joe Aarons, it's probably not the way to take it. They wanted me to come up here and talk about team. And you have to understand one thing. When you watch those videos, everybody, you saw my successes. What you didn't see was my failures, because that video is about 10 minutes long. Football is a game of challenges. It just is. But it's a total team effort. It takes everybody. And I'm not talking the guys on the field. I'm talking upper management. I'm talking owners. I'm talking coaches, players, spouses, fans. It's a total encompass of everything that you've ever dreamed of. You know, we go to these conferences and these are fun and these are exciting, but when you stand in front of 85,000 screaming crazy people and throw a touchdown in the last seconds of the game, you just go, wow. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it in the planet is to do that. But it wasn't my doing. It took 5 guys up front, a center, 2 guards, 2 tackles. It took those guys to be able to block so they didn't come and knock my helmet out. And trust me, when they didn't do their job, I got my helmet knocked off. I had 3 concussions. I don't even remember playing one of those games. That brain foam you're working on, that can't come fast enough. But it took those 5 guys to do their job, right? It took the running back, the wide receivers to do their job. It took the defense for us to beat the Oilers because they were the AFC champions. It took that defense to help us win that job. It took a total team effort. Everybody understands and looks at what does team mean. We've heard lots of people talk about team. We heard lots of people talk about what it's like to be on a team and all that kind of stuff. And when you talk about team, you talk about everybody that's involved. The team sports are the most fun. The hardest thing about sports is individual sports. Can you imagine being Tiger Woods? Can you imagine these guys that play individual? The Olympics, you're on the center stage in front of the world by yourself. Trust me, that's not fun because all the onus is on you. What's fun is working for a team. What's fun is getting together with a group of guys and everybody has an assignment, every single one. And if you want to succeed, they're accountable for those assignments. They are. In team, the first word is T, and you have to be teachable. Do you know when I started playing this game? I was this big. First time I put on helmets and shoulder pads and I got hit, I took my helmet off, put it on the sidelines, took my shoulder pads off and said, this is stupid. I got my bell rung. I was a running back. I go, what am I doing? Let me play linebacker. Well, then I found out there were bigger running backs that came through and then hit me and knocked my helmet off as a linebacker. I told my dad, I said, I don't think this game's for me. Then I was throwing rocks at somebody on the sideline. The coach says, hey, kid, you got a pretty strong arm. Let's try you at quarterback. I go, does he get hit? Not very often. I said, I'll play quarterback. And I started playing that game as a little kid and took it all the way to the NFL. But here's the thing, guys. You have to learn to be teachable. The first letter in team is teachable. It's amazing to me that when I was a 5th grader, put that helmet on for the first time, that football field that I played on was 100 yards long, 55 yards wide, and the NFL played on that field. They played on that same field. What was I, 13, 12 years old, whatever? Oh my goodness, we played on the same field. And I played it all through elementary. I played it all through junior high. I played it all through high school. Played it all through college. When I got finally to the NFL, was fortunate enough to get there, we had to learn the game all over again. And if you weren't teachable, if you weren't coachable, guess what? You didn't make it. You know what I like about this group out here? You know what I like about John Haremza and Dr. Cheed, and what I like about Bill, and I like about the Burlings, what I like about everybody that's here, as skilled as they are and as professional as they are, they're also teachable. They listen. Even at this stage of their life, and as skilled, as educated as they are in this industry, they listen. That's phenomenal. Because as a team member, you've got to be able to listen. As a team member, you're not an individual. You're part of a unit. And there's nothing stronger than that unit. Talk to anybody that's been in the military. Their units, they depend on each other. On that field, we depended on each other. We lived and died and won and lost together. Some of the great successes in football, some of the greatest teams that you've ever seen, they were able to put apart their differences. They were able to set aside their emotional drama. They didn't bring their political beliefs. They didn't bring anything outside of football. and the guys that could get in a locker room from different cultures, different backgrounds, different persons, if they were able to set aside the things that they did outside that locker room, they had the best chance of going to the Super Bowl. Because they didn't see any bias, they didn't see any anger, they didn't see anything. They didn't fight with each other. I've been on 3 different teams, and 2 of them fought with each other, and we had losing seasons. Of course, I was a quarterback for one. That didn't help either. But there were differences. They didn't get along in the locker room. They fought, they argued. They didn't like each other, and they didn't have success. I've been on a team that should have gone to a Super Bowl. And guess what? That coach made all the players, before they got in the locker room, they hung up their ego hat, they hung up their pride hat, they hung up everything they did outside of that locker room and had a fine focus of exactly what they had to do, when they had to do it, and where they had to do it at, and who they had to do it with. That's the difference. The difference is being able to set aside your differences and get up there and pound together with each other. You're one unit, one deal, one team. And you locked arms and you fought. Not with each other, but you fought together. That's incredible. And when you're in front of 80,000 fans, you don't hear them. Do you know why you don't hear them? Because you're so laser focused. Chuck Knox of the Seattle Seahawks said, you have to have a fine focus. Guys, if you're going to play this game, you have to have a fine focus. And you can't be distracted. And you can't have all this emotion and drama. And you can't bring all your burden and all your problems into this locker room. Keep them out. Here's what he said. He said, everybody knows who you are. They know what you stand for. You've been in our community. You've talked. You've been to places. They know who you are. But some of that stuff is not necessary here. Because this person may not agree with you, so we keep that outside the locker room. We keep that outside. Second letter in team is the letter E, engaging. You have to engage. You can't join a team and not participate. You can't join a gym and not go. You can't join a company and not produce. Oh my goodness, get in the game. Don't sit and watch the game. Play. You know what's frustrating when I played a lot of sports is when I had to sit on the bench. Oh, it drove me crazy. Yeah, the stickers, the pine needles, the bench. It's no fun. You want to get in and play. You want to get in with that intensity and that rivalry. Yeah, this is so cool. You want everybody to work together. You want everybody to feel what it's like to put a game plan together and watch that game plan come to fruition. And you go down and you score. Oh, my goodness. You got to get engaged. You got to play. You want to have some fun with this company? Go sell a product and make a profit. Don't break even, make a profit. When you make that first profit in this industry, when you sell that first bottle of Emulan, when you sell that first bottle of 24/7, when you sell that first tub of coffee and you made a little bit of money, ooh. Do you know why that place out there exists? Because every once in a while someone pulls that lever and they win money. Huh, Jess? Huh, Dave? It's fun to go out there and watch people when they win. Watch people when they lose. True character comes out when you lose, not when you win. So when you lose, I judge people by when they're losing, not by when they're winning. Winning is easy. Losing is what builds up what you need to have built up inside you to be successful. To be able to communicate, to be able to share, to be able to lock arms, you got to come through all the tough times. Without those tough times, there isn't success. You got to be able to play this game with your whole heart. Football was a nasty game for nasty boys, and you had to be able to play. Because if you couldn't, you didn't. You know, it's funny, as a player, and all players know this, and I've been through this. In practice, when you're working out and throwing the ball and doing stuff, and you do something wrong, and the coach is just screaming at you. You suck. Come on, Mathison. What did I tell you? Move your feet. Get the ball up. Kiss my butt. I didn't say that. In my head, I was saying that. But you know what? All of a sudden, they didn't yell at you when you fumbled the ball. They didn't yell at you when you threw an interception. And you go, uh-oh. You know what was happening? They stopped caring. And you go, uh-oh. And they stop talking to you and stop communicating you. They stop caring. Guess what's next? Coach wants to see you in the office. Bring your playbook. Coach says, Bruce, thanks for playing. It was great to have you here. Good luck. Yell at me. Say something. Cuss me out, please. Oh, it's a horrible feeling. As long as the yelling and screaming was to your advantage and you got up there and you performed. But to be able to perform, you got to engage. You got to do all the things that are extra. And then once you start doing that, once you start engaging, the next letter in team is A. You are held accountable. You are held accountable for the things that you do, the things that you say, how you hold yourself, what you do, how you act within each other, everything that you do, you're held accountable. And because people are watching. We all have something called an iPhone. Now people are taping. People are videoing. Who are you? It's not what you say, it's how you look in that video. It's what you say in that locker room that's being taped and recorded. That's who you are. So who are you? Are you accountable for all the actions? And last one in the letter team, the last letter in team is M. You have to be manageable. You have to be able to listen. You have to be able to take the knocks, to take the hits. You have to be able to listen, and you have to be able to control your emotions. You have to be able to go out there and perform. And you all have to work together. Doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter your culture, your background, or country. Playing together on a team, when you're with one, when you absolutely have really felt that, there isn't any animosity. There isn't any drama. There isn't any, everybody can put that aside. And if you can put that aside, you can win. Without it, you cannot. You just can't. And you got to work together. It takes practice. It was amazing. I got to the NFL, and we had 6 weeks. This is a game I've been playing all my life, and we still had 6 weeks to learn the game. And then we had 3 practice games called preseason games. We had to practice our skill. We had to practice what we learned together in the locker room. And there was no time for BS. There was no time for screwing around. You had 16 games, 6 weeks to prepare, and you took a run at a national title. Wow. There's no time for drama. No time for knee-jerk reactions. It's a fine focus to get where you want to be. You heard some of these stories. You heard Jen's story. You heard Dr. Chi's. You heard these stories that these people finally got it. Claudia and Ricky. Oh my goodness. They finally see it. And you get that fine focus, and there's nobody that can stop you if you really see it. But now you got to develop a team. Now you got to get together. You know what's great about this industry? You know what's awesome about this industry? This industry is awesome because you get to choose the players on your team. We didn't always get to choose. Somebody chose for us. They recruited you on skill, and then they found out you were a butthead. They recruited you on your speed, and then they found out that you had a different agenda. And then they found out that you could divide the locker room. And if you create those divisions in a locker room, you could not win, period. If you couldn't play together, you couldn't win. The divisions have to go. You set aside your personal feelings. You set aside everything because there's a different type of goal. You've heard every speaker up here. They're fantastic. They get it. They understand it. But you have to set aside those personal differences because there's a goal in mind. The goal is to sell products, make profits, and teach others to do the same thing. Here's your potential within this company. You can make professional athletic money. Kid down here from Kansas City signed a contract. They extended his contract by 12 years, or 10 years, to his 2-year contract with a net worth of over $500 million. John, you gonna earn more than that here? John's gonna earn that a week. Skip that kid. because John understands the team concept. John gets it. John's been a pleasure to work with. He's been a pleasure to get to know because he gets the game. Play the game. Play with everything you got, everything. Don't leave anything out there. Leave it on the field. They used to tell us all the time, leave everything you have on the field. You know how hard that is to do? Because you want to quit. You get tired. You get hurt. No, you don't. Get up. Get up. Play. Get up. Keep going. Get up. Set your mind. Get your mind straight. Get your mind right. Come on, man. Screw up, you get it. Come on, man. Come on, man. But the deal is you're going to screw up, but you got to learn from it. Guys, I'm telling you what. You have more potential here than you can even imagine. We talk about it, but I know it. I know it's in Dave's head. Well, kind of. It's all over the place. But I know where his fine focus is. I know what he wants to do with this company, and I know what he wants to do for you. And believe me, if there's a team player, if there's a team that you want, if you want a coach that you want, that's that person. Because there's nothing going to stop him. Drama's not going to get in the way. Trouble's not going to get in the way. Complications aren't going to get in the way. He's going to put them aside. He's going to keep going, head down. He's the ultimate fullback on a football team. Just bowl everybody over. It doesn't matter who they are. You're going to tackle me, you're going to get hurt tackling me. Woo! I wouldn't want to tackle him. One, he's Italian. Two, I don't know how fast he is. But guys, I'm telling you, we got some good stuff. We got some great announcements coming. We've got a game plan. We're going to put a game plan together, and we're going to execute that game plan to perfection, right? We got to. What else are you going to do? I'm 61. I don't want to go anyplace else. I like this team. I like the members of this unit. And I think together, if we get that fine focus, you're on your way to a title.